Fishing when the swell's up can be challenging. So I want to show you today where to find a spot on the beach that is likely to produce some fish when you've got conditions like this. So the first thing I've got to do is try and find a deep hole or deeper water where there's less sideways movement. I'm just going to start off using a worm. I'll run that onto a small whiting hook. Maybe a whiting in there, maybe a brim. It looks like good brim water. Let's just get this out. Just a small ball sinker on there. Small ball sinker there. So that'll roll along the bottom nicely. Alright, let's get it out. Current's moving to the right, away from the rocks. A few bits of kelp out there, which I'm going to try and avoid. Here we go. Not sure what it is, it's taking me over the rock. Could be a salmon, they like those worms. Come on, matey. He's right in close. Here we go. A little salmon just before sunrise. There we go. A little salmon taking a worm. Right, second bait, here we go. There's a bit of a deep hole there. When the swell's up like this, there can be a lot of sand movement, but the fish don't necessarily like that and won't come in close. Therefore, I'm going to have to find some deep water in close where the sand settles out of it. So I'll spend a couple more minutes here and then I'll move further along the beach, try and find that ideal hole or sand formation. So one small salmon on a beach worm. Sun has just risen. There's a bit of cloud on the horizon, so we'll just give this a little bit longer here. We've been here like 10 minutes now. A fair bit of swell coming in along the beach, but if I walk along there may be a few bits of deeper water in close that we can take advantage of. Anyway, I'll get a pilchard and maybe some prawns out further along the beach. I'm using two rods today. One's got braid line on it and the other one has monofilament, which is on my old faithful algae reel. So when the fish are a bit finicky or a bit soft on the bite, the braid line is a lot easier to detect the bites with. But there is a bit of broken off kelp around, and if my braid line gets tangled up in that, it can be a nightmare trying to untangle it. So where I've cast this this last bait, there's a fair bit of deep water in close, and there's not much current there, so there's very little sideways movement. So I'm expecting if there are any fish in the area, that's where they're going to be. They don't like burning up too much energy fighting the current where they don't have to. So I'm just hoping if there's some fish here, they're in there. Today, this day, 2 days after the full moon, they tend to be a bit soft on the bite, a bit finicky. Like I say, a couple of hours after the sunrise, if there's going to be activity, that's when I believe it's going to be. So I'll just hang in here till then and see how we go. Oh, I just had the best bite as I walked away. They didn't hook him though. Like I say, they can be soft on the bite today, so, and it's one of those days where you can lose a lot of fish because they are just picking at the bait. They're not really inhaling it. A small bait they can inhale, but generally if they're picking at it, yeah, they're unlikely to be hooked deep, more likely to be hooked in around the lip or the mouth, if at all. So you couldn't be continually changing your baits when they're in this mood. There we go, bait's gone.
So I'm using full pilchards at the moment, but I might have to go back to half a pilchard if I keep getting picked off.
Just had another soft bite. Not very enthusiastic at all. Well, it's almost 2 hours after the sunrise. Moon will be just about setting. Yes. Oh, soft on the bite. Still don't know whether I've hooked him. If I have, it's only small. Well, no fight, no fight. Another small salmon. So that fish picked and picked and picked at that before he actually got hooked. See, he wasn't gut hooked, he was only playing with the bait. As for fight, virtually no fight at all. He was just coming in as being pushed in by the waves virtually. On a pilchard tail, just a matter, you can cut the tail off if you've got to cast a long way, or you can do a double half hitch around it and bring the tail in. I've cut it off in this instant. So just go through, try and go through the spine and back through, and then just do a half hitch around the tail. There we go, perfect. There we go, straight into it. Again, he's on there, but either he's swimming in towards the shore, or he's just no energy, no fight. You doubt whether you've got a fish on at times. We've got a little tailer. There we go. This time a little tailer. There we go, let's see how long this takes. The wind's moved around to the virtually southwest, so it's virtually offshore here, so it has knocked the swell down slightly, but if it keeps up, the swell will diminish by a good half a metre or a metre by later on in the day. Sun's really glary off the water. So I'm using the old Albie reel today, which is, I love the Albies off the beach. You get sand in them, you just go down the surf, wash them out, they don't rust, they don't corrode. You drop any other reel in the water, major problems. You've got to clean it out. If you don't do that, it seizes up within a day or two. So yeah, the old Albies, it's pretty reliable, pretty versatile, not much goes wrong with them. And like I say, they're robust. Then you've got that direct feel with the fish. So there's, you know, it's 1-to-1 ratio. So every turn of that handle, it's you're virtually bringing the fish in that distance. So I've got a heap of kelp wrapped around my line. Now look, on the end of it, this is the one I've had the worm on. I've got a little sandbar, so a smaller bait. Mind you, it's a smaller fish too. So this is a good reason why I don't particularly like braid on the beach. You get a bit of kelp, wrap around the line, and you end up with the biggest tangle, which is, you could get it undone, but it would take hours, and it's just waste your time. So yeah, I think I'll stick to mono. Been using it for about 6 months now, and it's good when the fish are soft on the bite. You can feel them bite, but when it comes to night fishing or a bit of kelp and weed around, this is what can happen. Anyway, I don't want to bore you with that any longer. Now I'll just concentrate on the one rod. Now the braid's been tangled with that hunk of kelp, so I'll just leave that aside, I think, at the moment, and just concentrate on the one rod. Just I'll be using my LV reel and about 20 pound mono. If mono gets caught up in the weed, okay, it can get tangled, but it's much easier to get the knots out than with braid. Because braid's just so fine. Something's picking again. Really soft. Just felt like a tail of that one. And who knows, it could even be on there. They're so soft on the bite, and the fight is so minimal. I think it is. I actually think it's on there. It's a little salmon. Now he'll start fighting. There he goes. Another small salmon. It looks like that's all there is out there. I haven't hooked a big one, haven't filled a big one. Quiet. Just these little boats. Right, lead them. Make great fish mates. Well, I've got the light rod out again with a worm on, so we'll see what happens. Hopefully the kelp's gone and it won't get tangled again. I'm getting a bite. We got a dart. Oh, just be careful of the spikes on these things. Yeah, up the top there. They are so sharp. Beautiful fish. Beautiful clean fish, aren't they? And they're slippery, and there's more spikes on the bottom. Look at those spikes. They are really sharp. There and down here. Like the flathead, they seem to get you every time. You can't grab them without copping that spike. Anyway, that's the dart. So I've got 3 species. I've got 1 dart, 4 salmon, 1 tailor. So yeah, it's okay. Here we go. Another dart, I think. Don't think it's a whiting. There we go, another dart. Again, careful of those spikes. Smaller one this time. Here we have a fish swimming towards the shore once again. There's a bit more fighting. Oh, I can see him in the wave. Doing a head dive as the wave broke. Now he's in the white water, he won't have as much power. I lost him right at the edge. How's that, eh? It was a salmon again. Well, that didn't take too long. A couple of minutes. This time I'm going to put a head on. Head of a pilchard. Through the eye socket, pull it right through. I just go once through the body, lay it there, half inch around the nose, that's it. Pull that half inch nice and tight. Waves are crashing at the edge, that's for sure. Coming from deep water to virtually no water. Smashing on the sand.
salmon.
Yet another small salmon. Just flipped him. There we go. Salmon number 5. That's it. My limit. Got some going visiting tomorrow, so I think our friends will be over the moon. They love making fish cakes, so this will be perfect for them. Well, it's ended up a reasonable morning. Very slow, which I expected, until the moon set. At moonset there was certainly an increase in activity. They were, as I thought, soft on the bite most of the time. Interesting part about the salmon I caught was, and the tailor, was that they headed straight for the beach. You could have sworn that there was no fight in them, so it's really hard to determine whether that was the case or whether it was just that they were swimming towards the beach. But I have seen periods where fish do that. Sharks, bronze whalers off the beach are renowned for it. You hook into them, start winding, you think you've lost them, and then suddenly you recover most of your line and bang, fight's on again. But right in on the edge. Anyway, it's been a pretty good morning. Just like and subscribe if you want to see some more videos like this, and of course different stuff as well. I've done a lot of stuff around the water for many years, so I'll try and give you a bit of a variety. And by all means, if you have any suggestions, put it in the comments as to what you would like to see. Anyway, bye for now.
Thanks for watching.